Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's the 2001 movie. Well, it's just released at the end of 2001. Free Guy, which is actually available on HBO Max and on Disney Plus. So, before we get into that, let me take care of some business first, and then we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you don't want to know when I'll be on live again, you can just hit that bell down below and YouTube won't notify you when I come on live. So best thing to do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I put up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages there as well. And also this weekend, I'm getting new internet because this internet that I have sucks balls. Is what's going on right now. So yeah, hopefully I'll get faster by Saturday here. Um, yeah, the company I had changed back to an old name that they had, and then all of a sudden I noticed my service just went really crappy all of a sudden too. So I'm not going to name names, but it rhymes with abound. Yeah. So, hey, Morks, how's it going? So, as I said in the previews of all of this, if you take a look in the description of this video, I'm going to do a spoiler free version at first, and then I'm going to move over to the spoiler version of this movie. So, what is this movie about? It is about a non player character or an NPC in a video game that discovers he is in a video game and he becomes self-aware at that point and changes the perspective of a lot of people, shall we say. So um there's a lot of different elements within this movie. Is it worth Was it worth a theater trip? That's the whole thing. What it boils down to, was it worth a theater trip? I don't know if it really was worth a theater trip, to tell you the truth. Is it worth your time though to watch it on Disney Plus and HBO Max? Yeah. Yeah, you know what? If you're a fan of like video games, any kind of bombastic, spectacular movies, that kind of stuff, then it's worth your time. It's got a lot of, actors and a lot of good actors in there. Of course, Ryan Reynolds is in it. You have Channing Tatum is in it, which I thought was pretty funny and was quite unexpected, honestly. Taika Waititi, one of his few acting roles that he ends up doing, every now and then, does a great job in this as well. He's actually kind of refreshing to see in this too, just the way he's acting and everything. Joe Keery, of course, from Stranger Things. This is like one of his first big movies where he kind of gets a leading role, if you will. Jodie Comer, who I don't remember her, quite honestly, from a lot of stuff, but she's good in this. And honestly, I'm gonna have to say this is the best thing I've seen Little Rel in, because everything else that he's been in, I think, has been just kind of meh. So yeah, I like the cast too. Mork says theater trip worthy only if I haven't gone out in a while and want caramel popcorn and mindless entertainment. Yeah, it's still not worth a theater trip, quite honestly. Again, if you have a theater set up at home, surround sound system, all that stuff, it's really not worth a trip to the theater. Quite honestly, it's one of those. It's a great video rental. It's fun to watch, streaming, that kind of stuff, but it wasn't one of those things that was going to compel me to go into the theater to go and watch it. So with that said, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, go back and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. There we go. And excuse me, I don't know why I'm just all kinds of congested lately, and I think it's allergies. Yeah. So, yeah, the whole thing, the subplot of this being, AI that an AI program that was taken over by a video game designer, actually stolen by a video game designer, and then of course becomes self-aware, and the characters start becoming self-aware, was interesting. And I would have liked to have seen explored a little bit more. I mean, you had that sci-fi element into it, and I mean, I know there's a sequel that's being made for this as well. It's Warner Brothers, so of course there's going to be a sequel. And um yeah, it was that was the interesting part of all of this. And also brings up the question of in the real world, if you start having AI that's self-aware, um especially in like video games and stuff like that, are you going to kill them in a video game? Are you going to torture them? That kind of stuff, which is also brought up tangentially and just briefly within this movie. And it is an interesting, I guess you could say, philosophical question, moral question, things like that, because you are now talking about a another life form at this point, a sentient life form. And yeah, that is an interesting question and something that we are kind of approaching. And then also, of course, this brings up the whole thing about singularity, the singularity, which of course is robot uprising and stuff like that, which most likely will bring about the demise of the whole human population. But hey, I mean, if we're not going to do it with nuclear war, we're going to do it with singularities. We're going to do it with something. So, um, yeah, yeah. Um, I did like that aspect of it, but again, like I said, there's little things within this movie that made me chuckle, laugh. Like I said, the whole Channing Tatum addition, he's always great. He's a great comedian. He really is. He's a better comedian than he is an action star to me. And I want to see him do more comedy like this. Even though it's just a small part, it was still funny. It really was. Mork says a game code with a self-learning AI was stolen. Yes. Yes. Penn says I really liked the fight scene where he pulled out Cap's shield and Hulk's fist. Yeah, with the whole Avengers theme music playing too. Yeah, where he was fighting Dude. And the thing that I loved about Dude, which wasn't finished, he was like 70% finished, is all his catchphrases. Catchphrase here, and things like that. That he wasn't fully written as of yet. So I mean, there was a lot of uh, it's a lot of video game humor for people who make video games. Quite honestly, there's tropes, of course, in video games that we even got a little bit of the teabagging going on that was happening in the video game as well. But um, yeah, that's kind of what I liked about this. There's a little something for everyone within this movie. But again, it was a popcorn movie. It was something to you could have it on in the background. If you walked out for a couple of minutes and came back in, you didn't miss anything, quite honestly. It wasn't one of those movies where you had to sit there and pay attention. It was a take your brain out, put it in the popcorn bucket next to you, and have fun. And just make sure you don't eat the brain as you're eating your popcorn. So, yeah, it was a fun movie, but definitely not worth a theater ticket. um, I have very different levels of grades of movies, and yeah, so it goes for full theater price is what I have. I think I've said this before. I have full ticket price. I have bargain matinee price. I have wait until it comes out on streaming, or HBO or whatever, channel it's going to come out on. Then I have cable TV where you get some edits out of it, but it's still mostly intact. And then of course there's network TV where yeah, you just end up getting the mother melon kind of thing. Yeah, where they edit it highly. And it becomes better that way just because it's been edited severely. But Yeah, and this falls directly within the streaming. Uh, it really does. Hey, Lisa R. Lisa R says, "Hi guys, I actually got the alert from Facebook that you were on. I love this movie, lots of fun. I thought it was great theater movie for a family for sure." Yeah, yeah. I can understand that. Again, like I said, I still thought it was just a like a video rental or a streaming service streaming service watch. Yeah, I couldn't see going into a theater to do this. And I think my tastes have changed now for theaters. Yeah, I don't know. I really want a lot more stuff to come out on streaming. I really do, versus theaters now. Yeah. Yes, it was still fun for adults too. I agree with you, Lisa. Yeah, I think now for me, theaters are more the bombastic, spectacular, the Marvel movies, if you will, and DC movies, that kind of stuff. Something that's gonna knock my socks off that needs to be seen on a big screen versus like Cyrano, which I'm interested in seeing Cyrano because it's a great story. And honestly, I want to see how Peter Dinklage does this, but I'm not willing to go and see it in the theater. Now, if you charge $10 for streaming, I'd pay $10 to rent it to stream, but I'm not going to a theater to go and see it. Yeah, just not. I think as I'm getting older, I just don't want to be around other people in the theater anymore. you know, there's just too many people that are talking during the theaters. That there's too many other distractions that just annoy the shit out of me now as I get older. You kids. So Mork says, I go to the theaters for the spectacularly expensive caramel popcorn. You can always get that over at like Walmart or something, you can and just leave it in the cabinet opened up and it'll be stale and it'll be just like the movie theater experience for you, Morks. Just leave it opened up in the cabinet for like a couple of months and it'll be just as stale as the movie popcorn. Yeah. Lisa R says, I agree that streaming is more important post COVID. It's not even post COVID, tell you the truth. It's that's kind of how I want to see movies now. Is I'd rather watch it at home than deal with other people's shit, to tell you the truth. Because a lot of people are on their phones now. They're they're just not respectful in a theater of other people is really what it is. And so you got a lot of talking at full volume. And I mean, I'm not I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my sister does this all the time. So she talks at full volume. Uh she wants to know, like, we were watching Spider-Man No Way Home, and when Daredevil popped up, she turned to me and literally she was about, I wanna say, a good 6 feet away 'cause, there was a table in between us and then, another person and all that, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "I'll explain to you later," you know, kinda thing. And, yeah. So, Mork says, "I can relate. The comfort of home, all the commercials, the drive, the crowds. I agree, streaming all the way." Yeah, I mean, plus you can sit in your underwear if you want to. I mean, you can sit in your underwear in the theater, but most likely the cops are going to be involved in all of that. Uh, and there's also, the whole Megan Law thing. You end up, yeah. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that happens. Lisa R says, "Try Creators Popcorn Works. It's in most grocery stores." So. And there we go. There's a plug. I'm looking for that paycheck, you popcorn people. So yeah, worth your time. Give it a chance. Like I said, it's both on HBO Max and on Disney Plus. So I mean, usually people have one or the other. So there you go. That is which I kind of found surprising. I knew it was going to be on Disney Plus. I wasn't expecting it on HBO Max, but I didn't realize. I guess it was a Warner Brothers and a Fox movie. I think is what it was. I think they were was a joint thing. And I know this movie was done, like, a while back too, um, like, yeah, before 2021. So, you found the plug emoji. Nice, Morks. So, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, it's not a lot, to tell you the truth, because there just isn't a lot out there at the moment. So tomorrow is going to be Resident Alien. That's right, a new episode of Resident Alien, and we're coming close to the mid-season break. I believe is where we're at. So I think we only have 2 episodes left, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 3 episodes. I think it's 2 episodes left before the break. And then, of course, I believe the next part happens in May ish, somewhere around there. We'll find out. Um, Friday, I'll be off. Saturday, I'll be off. And then Sunday will be the Sunday edition of, excuse me, Saturday morning blast off, where I take the genre news of the weekend, any genre stuff you guys want to talk about. Unless there's no genre news like there was this last Sunday. And then it'll turn into a spoiler alert, is what it'll do. So, yeah, that's usually what ends up happening there. There's just not a lot going on at the moment. There's movies coming out, but there's no real TV series out there that I want to cover. Um, I know The Boys Diabolical comes out. Well, actually comes out technically tomorrow, 9 p.m. my time. I know midnight on the East Coast, and I think that's going to be fairly interesting. But I don't think it's going to be enough where I can cover each episode. I know each episode's an anthology; it stands on its own, but I don't think it's gonna. I think they're dropping it all at once. Again, like I said, I need to figure out if they are dropping it all at once or if they're going to do an episode a week, which I doubt they're going to do. It's Amazon, after all, and animated stuff. They tend to drop in clumps instead of all at once. Instead of, excuse me, I should say, instead of episodic like they do for their live action stuff. So, and then Monday I'll be off, and then Tuesday we'll roll back around again. It'll be either Tuesday or Wednesday for another episode of Is It Worth My Time? I don't know what I'm doing as of yet, but we'll figure it out. Oh, you know what? I do know what I'm going to be doing. I'm probably going to be doing the Batman because I'm most likely going to see the Batman over the weekend. There you go. The Batman. Yeah. Because, spoilers abound out there, and everyone and their fucking mother has already seen the movie and has decided to post spoilers. It's literally like dodging a goddamn landmine on the internet. Just looking around, just normal stuff, and people are producing spoilers for the Batman. It's like, motherfucker, and a lot of us haven't seen it as of yet. You know, you know who you are out there. So I keep my spoilers to my channel here, and I don't like posting them out there. So, anyway, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of the night. Thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library, and pops up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages on there as well. All right. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again on tomorrow for Resident Alien. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up realizing that you're really just a non-player character. We all are, in a mock simulation that supposedly might be a holographic projection of the universe, I think is what now scientists are saying. Anyway, it's all confusing. And, anyway, thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those. Oh, I guess a lot of places aren't wearing masks anymore because, we're not, we're told we don't have to. But you know what? Get those vaccine shots, get those boosters as well. You need them if you haven't gotten them already. Get the flu shot if you haven't gotten it either. And stay safe out there, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, have a good rest of your night, and see you then. Have a good one, everyone.